Warning. This episode contains very mature topics and conversations, more so than usual. Although most of the topics are discussed in a very comedic light, some individuals may have a hard time listening to the program. Anyone under the age of 18 should not proceed, and all those that are sensitive to topics regarding sex and death should also reconsider. The themes and conversations that are to follow are again presented in a comedic light and should not be taken too seriously. Listener discretion is highly advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're certainly glad to be here tonight.
Welcome to the Moon Men Podcast.
Don't be afraid. A little escapade of mine involving a couple of planets which shall be nameless.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That song is not good. You've been brainwashed. All those fuckers in Discord have brainwashed you.
Nah, I think it's a
It's
an alright song.
It's not a good song.
What don't you like about it?
It's too basic.
Basic.
Yeah. Like I get it when it first came out. It could have been okay. But now it's just overplayed. It's overused.
I think it's overused. I'm not gonna deny that. But
And I think that's why I've grown to hate it, because it's gotten overused. Just like that one song, fuck, how's it go? They always put in nature videos, like on TikTok and on Instagram and on YouTube.
I don't know.
Animals is another song that's fucking overplayed.
Oh, Animals.
Hate that song.
Martin Garrix.
No. Glass House, or not Glass House. Fuck, I just had it. Oh, sometimes when I think about is you. And
No, I don't recognize it.
you know that song?
No.
I'm probably gonna play it for you later.
All right. But I think I Like It by Cardi B is a genuinely good song. And you know what else is? This is a weird take. WAP.
I like the piano version of that song.
There's a piano version?
Yes.
But without any of the lyrics?
No, with the lyrics.
Oh, really?
They're singing it with the lyrics, and it's funny.
I don't know.
Want me to play for you real quick?
No.
Yeah, no, I
It's
insist.
good.
Like, no, I insist.
Okay,
Like,
fine.
yeah, okay.
Fuck it. Let's see.
Yeah, like. I even had it in not my playlist. I just downloaded it.
How?
Like, it's on Apple Music.
Oh. Okay,
but it's not in my playlist. It's
Yeah.
just there in my library.
And they make it all soft.
Yeah.
There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes.
All right, turn it off.
I never
can't.
said it was Cardi B who was singing it.
Yeah, but turn it
No,
off. I just can't.
no,
I
listen.
Hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. We said certified freak, 7 days a week. Wet ass pussy, make that pull like game week. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet
It's so bad. It's so bad. Why do you like that version?
Dude, it's funny.
It's not funny. It's kind of cringy.
It's funny, dude.
I can't. I like the song. I like Wet Ass Pussy. I like It. I like by Ruby Rose.
Oh, I don't know that song.
You don't know I Like by Ruby Rose? That's a good one.
Sing it.
Oh my god, I'm blinking. Hold on. How does this start? Dude, I'm blank. Here, I'll play it for you. I'm pretty sure me and showed you. Or me and my brother showed you. I can't see his name on here.
Well, I usually have the music bot muted on Discord.
Oh yeah. Look it.
Yes, sir. You wanna know what I like?
Fast forward? Oh, that song. Yeah, that song is kind of good.
It's a good song.
That one's kind of good.
Some of these bad bitch energy songs, I can kind of get behind. Like we talked about it before, the whole like rapping along with sucking dick lyrics. It's tough. But there's just something about the energy they're bringing to the table that just pulls me in,
They're brainwashing you, Devin.
I don't know. They have bad bitch energy.
Yeah, because
and
they
lately,
brainwash you.
a lot of,
They're brainwashing you, Devin.
A lot of the guys in the music scene are just kind of like simpy and kind of like.
That's true.
You know, they're kind of...
Yeah, there's a trend. So girls are supposed to be like bad bitch energy, and the guys are supposed to be simpish.
Yeah.
Or wannabe gangsters.
Or, yeah, there's the wannabe gangsters, or there's the simpish... Like, I don't like the direction men are heading in. You know, I've said it before. But it all clicked in my mind recently when I saw the Logic's post where he was dancing shirtless.
He did it at the concert.
I know, but like seeing it just, I was like, what happened to Logic? You know, like I know he's supposed to be presenting like that whole.
He's always been that way though.
Not like that.
Yes, he has.
Not like that.
Yeah, just because he got fat.
No, it's not even just about him being fat.
He's always been like that, Devin.
It's just in general. Like
he's always been weird.
Can I present my case?
No, you can't. Because I know in the direction you're going to. But
no, I'm not gonna go in that direction.
Okay.
I just think the whole like I looked at, you know, I used to look at him as a role model, and now like I'm considering just unfollowing him in general. Because you know, a couple years ago, he was working out. He tried to stop smoking cigarettes, and then he went to vaping. He never smoked weed before. He was always like a role model, somebody you could look up to. He was always seemed like he was going down a good path, right? Always trying to be better and move forward. And then recently, it's just like the complete opposite, you know? It's the internet effect. It's like he's becoming what we all are. You know, he is the reflection of ourselves. And it was just hard to look at because, you know, maybe 2-3 years ago, I probably would have jived with it a lot. I probably would have been like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's so funny. And I was just looking at it like, you know, he's like, what, 33? 34?
Yeah, he's in his 30s.
It's crazy. You know?
He's just enjoying himself. You can't be mad at that.
I don't know. Like, that's the thing they're putting out. He's just enjoying himself. But, like, to what extent?
It doesn't matter. Is it affecting your life?
Yeah, it personally affected me.
Then
as somebody
you need a life.
No, I know. That's why I'm, like, distancing myself from that. But it's just like, man, you know? Like, do you get where I'm coming from?
No, because I don't really, like, he's enjoying himself. I don't care.
It probably sounds like I'm being a hater, but I just...
like, the same, when have you seen Post Malone dance recently? Like, on stage?
Yeah, weren't people calling him a crackhead about it?
Yeah. Why don't you bash on him? He's doing it worse.
Nah, with his, it was more like him just genuinely, like, being himself. With Logic, it feels like he's putting on a performance to show that he doesn't care. You know?
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, now comparing those two cases, okay.
It's like
because
Logic's being a performative act, and he's like changing his whole persona in a sense.
Okay, because I see what you mean, because Post has always been that goofy, lovable ink person.
Yeah, and Post is like the coolest dude ever.
Yeah, and then Logic used to be someone who says I don't fuck with nobody, and then randomly has 30 people living in his house. Yeah,
and it's like there's that. Like there are a lot of elements of Logic, and it always just appeared to me like he didn't know himself. And more recently, it seems like he's having a midlife. Didn't you say it?
Yeah.
You said he's having a midlife crisis.
Yeah,
and I think that's accurate. You know, and instead of like the traditional route of like just buying a fancy car, like getting a divorce, like. He has the internet and he's famous and it's changing him. And I think it's doing that to a lot of people. Like I said, he's a reflection of ourselves. That video where he's acting like that, looks the way he looks, and it was just the whole vibe of it, right?
Well, he was dancing to a song called Dad Bod, and he has a dad bod.
No, yeah, I get it. He's embracing the dad bod, whatever. There's more to it than that. You know, but I don't want to go down this path the whole fucking episode.
I feel like you're just looking too deep into it.
No, I just saw it and I was like, what the fuck? And then right after that, I just got off my phone. I didn't go on my phone for the rest of the day. And it just naturally came up in conversation.
Welcome back to the Moon Man Podcast. Do you see the energy that I'm bringing?
I don't know. I feel like you're in a weird spot right now. Are you good?
Yeah, but I'm better than I was last week. Last week, I
and the week before.
No, the week before. It was the starting of last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah.
I feel like it's been going on for a little while.
No. Like last week. Like last week was bad. The week before that, it was getting back. The week before that, it was.
Okay, you're losing me. Like you said, people, welcome back. I'm Devin. That's your host, Eddie. What were you telling me about it on the Discord? You're like, I'm sad, and you guys don't ask me how I'm doing or something. Yeah, is everything all good in the old noodle here?
I don't want to say it on the podcast.
I mean, we could just touch upon it. It's about us opening up.
Yeah, no,
you
but
know?
that's a private conversation. I don't want these fuckers to know.
Oh, is it something like genuine?
Yeah. So.
Okay. Remind me to ask you after this because I'm a
what
bad
the
friend.
fuck?
Yeah, I'm a bad friend and I don't ask people how they're doing. So like,
you're not the only one.
no, I'm just saying, because I'll actually ask you in person.
All my friends don't ask me how I'm doing.
No, but I just thought it was amazing to me because I believed in it. Right? You convinced me.
Wait, what do you mean?
When you said you're like, you've never asked me how I'm doing. Right? I believed you. I was like, oh my God, I never asked him.
Probably because you saw evidence going through your messages.
Yeah, I looked at the messages, but then I remember I don't text that often. I'm not a big texter. I'm like, we'll text, about the podcast stuff,
Right.
business stuff, things going on, sure. But I don't sit on my phone texting all day. So when I looked it up in text, that was the worst place to go. And it's not like I could pull up my calls and go through all the times I said it in a call.
Because you asked me how you doing, bud, but you never actually sit me down and be like, Eddie.
That's your opportunity to. You know how I am.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, Eddie, are you good? Because you get annoyed when I'm like,
yeah,
checking in.
no, yeah, but it gets annoying when you keep fucking asking me.
No, I'll just be like, how you doing, bud? And that's your opportunity to be like, oh, like, I think that's the thing that people don't do. Cause
It's because when you ask somebody how you doing, it's like it goes along with hi, how are, like, hi. Like, it's just
yeah, it goes over people's heads.
Yeah, but
I think people should jump on the opportunity. Be like, oh, yeah, I don't
no.
I don't feel great today.
No. That's not a good way to jump up.
Why?
Because, like, let's say you're like, hey, Eddie, how are you? And then I'll be explaining in the back of your mind, like, Eddie, I don't give a shit.
If I asked, if it's a difference between me, right?
No, but usually it's common courtesy just to ask how someone's doing, but you never expect anyone to say, I'm bad, let me tell you about my problems.
No, just be like, oh, I'm not doing so well. And if they ask after it, then you can explain it. If they don't ask after it, leave it at that. Yeah, because I don't always say I'm good. I'll be like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm a little stressed out. Oh, I just got home from this.
Like, let's say I ask you, Devin, how are you? You're like, I'm tired. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't ask.
I'm an asshole for not asking.
No, you're not an asshole because it's up to you whether or not you want to ask. That's how I see it.
No,
because I don't care about everybody in my life. Sounds fucked up, but like, I'm sure we've talked about it before. We keep people in our life for reasons, right? Sometimes I don't want to know how your day's going. I don't want to know what's going on with you because I'm too absorbed in me. So if I don't ask, I'm just being conscious of myself. That's not fucked up.
You selfish.
You do the same shit. Everybody does the same shit.
You selfish son of a bitch.
But I think we should be more upfront about how we're feeling in that moment. Like you'll ask me, how you doing? Oh, I'm stressed out. Book stuff, right?
Yeah, and then I'm like, why, Devin? It's because it's common courtesy.
Well, don't do that. Don't do the common courtesy. Just do you. If you don't want to hear about it, don't ask me about it.
Yeah, but then
I'll tell you about it.
No, listen. But then, like, let's say I keep asking you how you doing, and every time you say, I'm bad, I'm this, I'm that, I'm okay, cool. One night at 3 a.m. where you're alone in your thought, you're gonna be like, fuck Eddie. He doesn't care.
No, I don't do that with anyone because I don't think it's anybody's job to fix anybody else.
No, but no. I never said I'm gonna fix you.
I know, but I don't think it's your job to sit there and be like, Devin, what's going on? Talk through it, I have outlets, tons of outlets.
Oh,
if
okay.
I'm not utilizing those outlets and I'm just expecting people to come and fix everything or make me feel better, I'll never get anywhere. I have my journals, I have my exercise, right? Mm-hmm. If I really need you, I'll tell you like, hey, Eddie, and then I know you'll be there. But I don't expect you to ask after my day every day because that's annoying.
That is annoying. No, but like I at least ask you once a month, like genuinely sit you down and be like, how are you? And then and if you don't want to tell me anything, then that's up to you. Yeah,
the only time like I'll genuinely ask you or anyone is if I can see signs like, hey, they're not okay up there. Like, what's going on, right? But aside from that, like I'll ask and I expect people to tell me how they're doing. If they lie to me, they lie to me. They had an opportunity, right? And if I'm in the mood to hear it, I'll ask about their problems. I've met complete strangers and talked to them about, somebody passing away,
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's not impossible. It's just uncommon because people lie to each other all the time. That's the societal norm.
Yeah, because people think that other people don't really care about the problems.
Like, okay, if you had to give one tip, right, on how to have a good conversation with somebody, what would you say? Because we're podcasters. We kind of have conversations for a living at this point. Not that we're making that much money off of this, but you know what I'm saying.
Point your feet to the person.
What the fuck? What does that got to do with anything?
Because there's some. Like, what are you looking for?
My water.
Oh, there's some like psychological tricks, quote unquote, that people do when you're having a conversation with someone, and that's one of them is if they're pointing their feet towards you, that means they're actually listening and actually care. And if you've noticed, every time we have someone on, we turn and our feet are pointing to the person.
Well,
just
obviously.
like right now, we're pointing our feet to each other.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of weird to like have my feet pointed over here and then be talking to you like
No,
this.
but like let's say
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Yeah, and then I guess maintain eye contact.
And
pretend you're listening.
I ask what? No. I
Yeah.
ask as a concept, right? Because I was thinking about this, right? I listened to, I don't want to give him a shout out, but I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast when he was interviewing Post Malone, the whole 4-hour shebang.
I'm almost done with it.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's
But I
entertaining.
thought about it as a concept because I was like, that's so interesting. These are the kind of conversations that I have with people out in the wild, right? And then I'm like, how do you have good conversations with people? Because sometimes you'll run across those that don't know how to converse, right? And you have to carry it.
Okay, that's one thing I picked up from Joe Rogan. Like, you know how I stay quiet when you talk?
Mm-hmm.
He'll be like, right, okay, all right, okay. He'll add those little words in so the person who's talking thinks that he's actually listening and is consciously picking up what he's saying.
Yeah. And I think that's one factor. But a lot of it, like I was looking at it again as a concept, and I think it comes down to being curious about the conversation itself and inputting your own things into it, right? Because Joe Rogan will have somebody on like a scientist who studies the Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then by the end of it, they're talking about Mike Tyson. This guy specializes in nature, and Joe Rogan specializes in mixed martial arts. By the end of it, they're finding like a bridge to talk about everything. And I think, I'm looking at it like for ourselves, but also for me and for the people listening so that we can have better conversations. I think if you find ways to incorporate your life naturally without forcing it into the conversation and incorporate your interests, you can have better conversations, because we do that with our guests. If you notice it, we always bring in things that we like talking about.
But when's the appropriate time to have a conversation? Because you're not gonna have a conversation with someone in line at Safeway.
Well, you could.
No, but like everyone's just trying to get the fuck out of there.
I know. I guess it's context, but here's an example, right? Last year, Borges came into town and we wanted to go to the clubs.
Right.
At some point, he got into a club and he called me and told me to come in. And I had to go wait in line. I was waiting in line, and I happened to look over and see some random asshole next to me. Good looking dude, right? He was vaping. I was vaping. I asked him if we could vape here or something like that. That's how it started. By the end of the exchange, we were, giving each other our Snapchat information and planning to go out to eat the next weekend. And it was just, a mindless conversation. And by the end of it, we became friends. We were complimenting each other, asking each other like how we pick up girls, that kind of shit. So I think if you're in the right mindset and you have the tools, you can have conversations with anybody anywhere. And most people actually want to.
It's just you got to choose the right moment.
I guess.
Because like you could be waiting in line to go into a club, that's perfectly fine. You can even go to a bar and that's perfectly fine. But like let's say you're going to Safeway, where you're just trying to get the shit you need and then go home. I don't think that's appropriate.
Yeah, but then there's other people who will go to Safeway and then that's like the event of their day because they don't do much. So
but like
choose your targets.
Exactly.
But
like at the gym, you're not gonna have a conversation with someone.
It's rare.
You shouldn't, because you're there to work on yourself and work your body out.
I'm one of those people, like when I was going to the gym, I was go in, do what you need to do, get out, right?
Exactly.
I don't want to be there for 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But that never stopped me from having a conversation when I saw an opportunity to. And I think one part that goes into it is being curious about people and about life. Like if you want to learn about things, about experiences, then you're going to have conversations easier because you're going to want to hear what that other person's saying. And if you're not afraid to mention your interest or bring in things that you like talking about and mention your stories, then it shows a bit of authenticity and people get drawn in and then give details about themselves, right?
Yeah, I guess I'm one of those people where I just don't really care about other people.
That's what I've noticed. Not to call you out or anything like that, but I've noticed like when we're talking to people on the podcast and hanging out on Discord, you'll like tune out.
Yeah, because it's all about how they present themselves. Because if they present themselves like very, very egotistically, very, very egotistically, I'm not gonna jive with that person.
I think you respond more to the people who are like mysterious in the background. Like they don't give you everything.
Exactly.
Front.
Yeah.
You like mystery.
Yeah. Well, no, not really, because even the mysterious people could be egotistic, and they're just waiting for someone to latch onto and explain their whole life stories and tell them why their mom left them.
Oh well, no, those people are kind of annoying. The whole like, here's my whole life story. I'm gonna tell you uninterrupted for the next hour.
Exactly.
But from the people that you've interacted with, I've noticed just like there's a common theme where they're like more reserved in general by nature, but because of their reservations, they're more mysterious overall, and we're attracted to mystery. And I think that's what attracts you. It's also part of being humble. Like they're not the first person to come and start talking about themselves, and you like that. But again, there's also a mystery to it, and it brings you in. It enthralls you.
Yes, like you said, to each their own. Like you love people who are egotistic because that's a challenge for you to be like, I'm better.
Not necessarily.
Yes.
When? How?
Bleep his name out. With you guys are always talking shit because you guys both think you guys are the alpha dogs. And then I jive with your brother because him and I have like similar personalities where we take a step back, and because I love his laugh. I love making him laugh.
Dude, his laugh is infectious.
Yeah.
But with so and so,
Yeah.
right? I don't think it's like a competition of who's like greater and we're trying to outdo each other. I think we just naturally bring out those tendencies in one another because I'm naturally outgoing, he's naturally outgoing, and a lot of times we're the most outgoing person in the room. So when we get together, we just feed off of the energy.
When you guys are together, all I hear is "Shut up, bitch! You're a weak ass motherfucker."
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh, shout out to him, by the way, because he got me into online betting.
That's not good, Devin. I wanted you to stay away from that.
What do you mean? You tried to get me into it.
Yeah, because I wanted $50, but like I don't want you to get involved in this.
Well, I've won $75 in the last 24 hours.
That's it.
Well, I mean, I've only put in $10.
The first time I bet, I put in $10 and I won $500.
Well, congratulations, okay? But the luck was on your side. Ours is more consistent. We have a system going here.
Yeah. I'm thinking about leaving that channel.
Which one did you use?
I use FanDuel.
Oh, we use Prize Picks.
There you go.
Took me a second,
yeah, Prize Picks. Yeah.
There's like all kinds of them now.
DraftKings, FanDuel. There's another one.
The MGM one.
Yeah, the MGM one.
And then you got the smaller one. Do not gamble, people. Okay.
Yeah.
We are legal adults.
Yeah, we are.
And I'm not a fan of gambling at all. I hate it. But I put in 10, got 75.
You missed your opportunity. I put in 10. I'm broke. I want more money. To make money, you have to spend money.
No.
Yes,
I'm not advocating for it. I don't want people to go out there and start gambling.
Yeah, I know.
And if you are gonna gamble, do the roulette wheel because that's the funnest. I think.
No, the funnest is blackjack.
No, blackjack's the easiest, but the funnest is the roulette wheel because like it's all chance.
I don't like casinos. When it comes to gambling, I don't like casinos.
Why?
Because it's all rigged.
Oh, well, yeah, kind of. I don't trust the automated machines.
It's also rigged because
I don't know.
No, think about it. Like let's say, Alfred.
Yeah.
Me too. Did he send something?
Yeah.
Or it's a chat. It's probably a video.
It's probably. I don't know because he also sent me this earlier. Shout out Alfred.
What the fuck?
Looks good right there, right? Am I tripping? I had to show it to Kyle.
He sent me this.
Let me see. The fuck? He sent me this too. Sorry, Alfred. We're putting you on hold for now. You're gonna have to wait.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So think about it. With it's a conspiracy. A little conspiracy I personally have.
Uh-huh.
With FanDuel, they sometimes make bets for you. So like, let's say for baseball, they say 4 players are gonna get two or more bases.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say 1,000 people bet on it, and each of them it varies. Like I put 10, Bobby over there puts 15, and that guy puts 50. Let's say 3 out of the 4 players already have 2 plus bases, so the last player needs 1 more base.
Okay.
But it's like the 6th inning. They'll purposely not get that last base.
Oh, you think they're working with the companies?
Yeah, so they could keep the money and we get nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I might be able to see it, but I feel like that would be extremely complicated, you know? We had a 6-man going, and we needed 4 outcomes to get completed, I should say. I don't know. We needed 4 players to do these specific things, and then we would have won about like $500 to $600, right? 3 players got it, and then 3 players were about to finalize. If all of them got it, I think we got double the amount we were supposed to get or something. I don't know. I didn't look into that one that much. But I was watching it, and this one player had to get, I think, like 3 strikeouts or something. And he was on his second one, and we were waiting. And I was watching it the whole time. Like, I'd be checking in every like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, did he do it yet? Did he do it? The game's ongoing. And then it just paused. You know, I didn't see no updates, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I checked back like 2 hours later, and it shows that it was complete and that he never got any more strikeouts. And I'm like, that's kind of hard to believe. I don't know if it was strikeouts, you know, but.
Well, no. So when it comes to basketball, there's some contracts that state that if they shoot under a certain percentage, they get a bonus.
Why? Is it because of the bets?
I don't know. So like, let's say Stephen Curry, in his contract it says he has to shoot under 43% from the 3-point line, right? Mm-hmm. He'll purposely miss shots so he can stay under that and then get the bonus of $500,000 or whatever.
It's probably for bets to control it, make the odds more interesting, because if he's making every single three-pointer, then it's going to be easy to bet on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if he's deliberately throwing in misses every single game, then you don't know how many he's going to make that game.
That's the whole point of betting.
Yeah.
That's the whole like
But like let's just say his 3-point was perfect, right? Every single time he took that shot, it was like a 95% chance he was going to make it.
Right.
It would make betting so much more boring. So I'm pretty sure that's why they throw it in there, but that's a little scammy
in a sense, but it's never been proven, so it's just like a
until we put it on our program.
It's just an assumption that I've had.
You know, have you heard that I don't know if it's a theory or a study or something, but there was a conversation going around somewhat recently that said that our brains have become corrupted by our phones by the amount of beautiful people we see.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so before technology and before you had access to every single person that's ever lived ever, right? You would only encounter the people in your own life, right? People would go out more back then, all that shit, right? But even when you were going out and you were seeing thousands of people every day, the chances that you would come across somebody who was genuinely beautiful or attractive was pretty rare, you know? You would go to work every day, go to school every day, do this, go shopping, right? Go to the movies, but you weren't necessarily inclined to see somebody that was like a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, right? But because of social media advocating, and then like YouTube and stuff, advocating for more beautiful people so that people will like click and engage, our brains have become corrupted because they're not used to seeing this amount of beautiful people, and it's disrupted everybody's standards. So now the average person, you know, who would have been considered like a 7 or an 8 20 years ago is now considered like a 3 or a 4 because we're constantly seeing the top 1% of attractive people on our social media feeds. Have you heard about that?
I feel like it's just a change of times because let's look at a photo from 1911 and they're saying this is the most beautiful person in the world. She or he will be a 5 now, and I feel like it's because of the whole. We have better hygiene. We have better foods. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that plays into it. Like 100 years ago, we were a lot uglier as a whole, but that didn't stop, thousands of outliers from popping up that were just, gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, yeah. There were outliers back then, but now
all we see is beautiful people.
and that's all because of the whole what we have now.
Well, I've noticed it in myself, like having a beauty bias, right? Like, I don't know if I've mentioned it on here, but I've noticed that when people are like less attractive, I kind of laughed at the Kevin Hart skit when he talked about this, because I felt the same way. When people are less attractive, they get less of my attention versus when they're more attractive, whether they're a guy or a girl. It's not just me trying to be flirty with every girl that comes my way. I just noticed, like, and it's something that I'm trying to work on, but if I see someone who is objectively like plain or average looking, I'll treat them like any normal Joe on the street. But if I see someone who's above average or beautiful, they start getting more patience from me. They get more kindness from me. And it's something that I'm trying to work on. But I think a lot of it comes from the social media, because I've been wired since I was, when did I get my first phone? 7? Since I was like 7, to just treat attractive people as kindly as I can, right? And because I'm constantly seeing them, my standards have raised. So now 90% of the people I encounter on a daily basis, to me, are just considered plain. You guys were even telling me that my standards were too high, right?
I feel like a lot of people are like you, but when I see a beautiful person, I just treat them like an average Joe.
It's not something that we consciously control. It comes out naturally.
No, I control it because I know.
And you're able to like see it.
Yes, because I'll be like with my coworker, and a chick with big ass boobs and big ass tits are fucking big ass. I said big ass tits and big ass boobs.
Well, you can kind of see that Eddie's a tits guy.
yeah, I'm a boob guy. What are you, a boob guy?
Ass.
Okay. So like, let's say she walks in, I'll go back to the conversation we're having. He will not stop looking at her. He'll be like, "Oh, welcome in. How are you?" And then he'll keep fucking staring.
Oh no, those people just need to get laid. You know?
No. But I've also seen it like with someone who isn't as bad as him. They'll be like, "How are you?" And they still keep looking.
Okay, I guess that's.
I haven't really seen it with you. I've seen it with Kyle.
Really?
Yes, I've seen it with Kyle.
In what way?
There was this one time, you, me, him. There was one other person. Might have been your brother.
Let's just say my brother.
Let's just say it was your brother.
Keep it pushing.
Yeah, there was a girl, his standards. I'm not gonna say if it's good or bad.
Yeah, Kyle's standards are kind of.
Kyle's type
is iffy.
Kyle's type. I saw a girl's type or Kyle's type walking by, and me and your brother were talking to him, and he just kept staring at her as she was walking by.
Oh wait, no, that has happened to me. Intro girl called it out.
Oh, that's true.
She always calls it out, which is kind of frustrating, you know?
Yes.
Because like we'll be out.
That. Yeah.
Did she get you too?
No. I don't really do it that much.
Oh well, because
like I said, I control it.
I don't know. I'm questioning that.
Like if there's a girl who has the same like I don't want to say beauty, but the same. I'll just say beauty. I don't know what word. I'll just say that. If there's a girl with the same beauty as the girl from work that you know about,
yeah,
then yes, I'll stare. But for the most part, I'll see someone with a big ass and I won't even care.
Look at it like this.
Because I think of it as that what is it? As the 11th guy in the room. Have you ever heard that?
The guy that doesn't have a date?
No.
What's that?
So like, let's say you're in a room with 10 of your friends, right?
Yeah.
And then a beautiful girl walks in. All 10 of your friends are going to be staring at her, trying to get at her. And the 11th guy, you, would just ignore her and just jive with your friends.
Yeah.
The chick would want to be with you because you're not giving her the attention.
Well, no. I think a lot of this isn't like our actions, so to speak, right? It's a natural occurrence in humans, and it's been scientifically proven. It's like a psychology thing. Mm-hmm. We're more inclined to treat people who are beautiful better, but because of the way social media has impacted the way we look at beauty, we consider most people to be like average or plain or ugly looking when we, wouldn't have 20 years ago was the whole point. But when it comes to like a beautiful woman entering the room, of course, everybody's going to look at her and she's going to get treated differently. But I don't think I think like for most, at least, okay, how do I phrase this? I'm losing my words here. I'm not going to change the way I treat anyone based off of how they look,
Yes,
right?
you will.
No, not like outwardly. I'm not going to start being more mean to them or neglecting them or like treating them like shit, right? Mm-hmm. There's going to be small subconscious things that happen. Like I might be a little bit more funnier. They might get a little bit more patience for me. I might be a little bit more caring without realizing it, right? But if you're, let's just say, objectively ugly or plain looking or whatever the hell, I'm not going to start treating you like shit because of the way you look, because we can't control that. I was ugly for most of my life. Right? I know what it's like.
You're a little bit above average now.
Yeah. And again, that just comes from weight loss. Anybody can do it. It's nothing crazy. But I'm not trying to say that I treat other people badly. I've just noticed how much like quote unquote pretty people get a pass.
What was that?
The pretty privilege, I think.
There you go. Pretty, yeah.
And it's
the PP.
The PP. PP really gets you everywhere in life, And so, like, if a beautiful woman comes in, like, she's going to get treated differently in small ways, but I'm not going to treat her differently versus the way I treat, let's just say, intro girl or you or any other girl out on the street, right? But, like, outwardly, the way I say hi to her is going to be the exact same way I say hi to the other person. It's just subconsciously my voice might get a little bit deeper with her because my brain is telling me to try to be more attractive to her,
I think also all comes down to loneliness.
Also that, yeah, and desperation.
Yeah.
Who did I tell? I think I was telling Kyle. The loneliness it's been hitting hard recently.
It's okay, Devin. It's okay.
It slipped out in Matt's episode, but like, it's so hard to keep myself restricted all the time. You know what I mean?
The year of dreams.
The year of dreams. Remember that? Remember how we started the year with that?
You started that.
I know. I'm forgetting the mission. Like they were saying, oh, you weren't there.
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there.
I forgot the mission.
Juan was like, what's the mission?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me the mission.
I forgot the mission. It's the year of dreams. I'm getting distracted. I've been getting distracted. But even now that I'm still on course and following my dreams and working hard, the loneliness seeps in from everywhere. It's like all humans can think about, is just not being lonely in life.
Yeah, because social media, people, they used to say how social media used to...
What, connect us?
What the fuck? Kyle Snapchat said to me, no.
Don't answer him. Do not answer him. He'll keep going.
Do you know how they used to say that social media would, like you say, change the beauty standards? I feel like it shifted a little bit, and now everybody who posted about a relationship, everyone who's posted about a relationship and shares it, did he Snapchat you too?
Huh? No.
Oh. Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
I feel like it's creating false wants in people, right? Like, because you're constantly surrounded by relationships on social media, it makes you want one. And then, like, you might not be ready. You might not be the relationship type, or maybe you're just, like, trying to focus on other things. It starts eating at you, right? And then movies, too, and TV. Like, it's kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
And then your family. Just look at your fucking family. You got uncles and aunts, you got moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas. It's everywhere. Grandpas and grandpas. I don't know what your family's like, but like everybody everywhere constantly seems like they're in relationships. And when you're not in one and you're bombarded by it, it seems like that's all you can think about sometimes.
Yeah, but someone like me, I'm used to it. I don't really care.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've been cruising for a while.
Yeah.
But me, I don't know if this is just a personality tick, but I've always felt like I'm the guy who wants to be in relationships, right? I'm one of those really annoying guys that like wants to be in relationships. I hate guys like that.
There's a name for you guys.
Simps.
No.
Hopeless
romantic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you're that.
I can think of a couple people off the top of my head, like Yeah, I'm gonna have to bleep these names out, but like,
I don't know the second guy that well to know.
but he always struck me as somebody like that too. And then like jumping into a relationship when you get a chance, like when you see them jumping into relationships that they're not supposed to be in, it's because they want to be in the relationship
And they don't want to feel lonely.
They don't want to feel lonely, right? And the biggest part of my growth came from learning how to be alone and not be in a relationship. But God, do I want to be in one sometimes? Fuck, I miss it. Just the small aspects of it. Like I was telling, God, he keeps getting brought up, but like I was telling Kyle, I miss a lot of the physical elements of it, you know? Of course, there's the whole like sex. I miss the sexual aspects,
Right.
but I also miss having the physical presence there, you know?
That's why you have the homies.
It's
I have a queen. You're sitting on a queen bed right there. We could take a
no,
pause.
no.
And I could hold you, or you could hold me.
It was hard to listen to last episode when we were editing because we started going into like the whole massage thing, and I was just like, "Oh, Eddie really gave me a massage, just me and him in his room." Like, and I talked about it, like I exposed.
You were
myself.
proud of it.
I was proud. I was like, "Oh," I was listening to it, and my little brother heard it. He was just staring at me.
Imagine if your dad heard it. Oof. You wouldn't hear the last. You wouldn't hear the end of it.
He would just be like, "I knew it. I knew it this whole time," you know. But
let's say you come out as gay, right? I know you're not, but like, let's say you come out as gay. How do you think your family would react? Do you think they'll change the way they talk to you and look at you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know everyone in my life jokes about it, right? But if I genuinely came out as gay, I don't think anybody would know what to do because like I'm the last person you would kind of expect. Like we joke, right? No, we joke. But if I turned around,
I'm not joking.
If I turned around and told you like, Eddie, I'm gay and I think you're attractive and I want to be with you, you would put some distance between us right now. You would be like, Devin might try something.
No, I know you wouldn't try something because I'll call the cops if you try something.
There you go. But also, like, do you really, really, genuinely believe that I could be with another man? Do you think I could be in love with another man?
Yes.
Really?
I feel like you'll be like, you know what? Let's try it.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah, that's something I've known this since I was a wee little lad. You were brainwashed. You got the accent on me. Did you hear that? No.
I was like, you're brainwashed. I can't do it. You're gonna hear in the audio when you're editing.
No, I wasn't brainwashed. I've known it. I've been staring at girls my whole life. I was I don't know if I ever said, why do I keep saying that? I'm pretty sure I might have told you this, but I started trying to flirt with girls when I was like 3 or 4 years old, you know?
Mm-hmm. But like I've heard many stories about guys being like you, and then they are 40 and they're like, I'm gay.
No, I don't think that's.
And they already have a family and everything.
I'm pretty confident in who I am. I've did a lot of time.
Devin, I promise you, if let's say you were, I will not change the way I talk to you.
Yes, you would.
I will flirt with you, but you gotta fucking know I'm only kidding.
You would change the way you talk to me.
No.
Also, I put a lot of time into figuring myself out, and I got a pretty good hold on who I am as a person. So much so that things that I have said pertaining to me and my integrity and my character from like 5, 6, 7 years ago, 10 years ago in some cases, still reside within me to this day, right? I have a good hold on myself. But no, I'm not that desperate. I'm not that desperate.
Excuse me.
I'm holding myself back. I can't. The year of dreams. I can't get distracted with anything else. You guys already take up more of my time than I should allow.
I told you that I had a couple of quickies.
Oh yeah.
What's one book you'll recommend?
I've recommended it on the show before, but 11/22/63 by Stephen King. It's a time traveling romance story. Really good. The Outsider by Stephen King, if you want to get into horror.
I just said one book.
I'm just throwing a couple quick ones so we can move past it.
I said one book.
Okay, fine. 11/22/63.
All right.
It is 600 pages though, so.
If you guys want a fucking comic book, The Killing Joke is good, and The Last Roman.
You said one book.
One book. That's true. But it's a comic book.
No, but you said one book.
It's a comic book.
You said one book.
It's a comic book, yeah. Do you have a bullshit topic?
I did. Wait, hold on.
Have you ever eaten your own earwax?
We're not. I'm not. Well, no.
It's
We're
because
not
I was
going
scratching
to.
my ear,
Stop.
and then
You almost licked your finger, or what?
No, I was just looking at my finger. Like I've never eaten your earwax.
Okay, so you know what taxidermy is, right?
Taxidermy.
It's the science. I was gonna say art, but it's the science of taking a dead corpse, stuffing it, and then
Putting it in your house.
Yeah, putting it in your
Oh,
house.
okay,
right?
yeah.
That's taxidermy. You see it with like bears, people who go hunting, that kind of shit.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah. Do you think who's weirder, or who needs to be punished more? People who request taxidermy on their deceased pets, or the people who are actually doing the job to make them like statues? Because I was thinking about it the other day, right? I made a joke about it to my mom, and I was like, I'm gonna stuff the dog when she dies. And then I was like, man, that's weird. Like, am I fucked up, or is the person who's gonna be putting their hands all over the dead dog fucked up?
The second person, the person who's stuffing the dog.
But like, I can't understand that. Like, if I walked into somebody's house, right, and I saw a stuffed animal like that they owned, that I saw alive like a year ago, like
Right.
I wouldn't be able to be friends with that person or be in that person's life.
I think it's the second person because they're actively doing it.
Yeah, but they're doing it for money at the end of the day. The other person's gonna
True,
have it in their
true.
house.
True.
But then again, how do you get into taxidermy? What causes somebody to be like, yeah, I want to stuff dead
I feel like
animals?
it's the same people who prep bodies for funerals.
Well, they just work at a is it a morgue or a funeral home?
I think
they
it's funeral home.
They work at a morgue, or okay, people who work at a morgue need to be, no, they don't need to be anything because
No.
they're doing the dirty work that no one else
Yeah,
wants to do.
exactly.
But the funeral home people, like, they don't necessarily have a choice. That's part of the job description. They have to sell coffins. They have to plan funerals. And then a mortician, there we go. And they also have to, dress the bodies. I mean, somebody's got to
Do they
do
put
it.
underwear on the bodies?
I don't know. I know they do a lot of weird things to the bodies, but I don't know if they put underwear.
What about socks?
I don't know. I mean, we never see the feet. Are we? Maybe. I assume they put socks. But like, okay, let's just say they had a female cadaver, right?
Wait a minute. Cut this part out. There's like legs in there?
Where?
In the coffin.
Do prosthetic legs get donated? I mean, what would they do with them?
Exactly.
Do they break them down and recycle them? Is there somebody walking around with somebody else's legs
Huh.
that belonged to another person before
It
that
makes
person?
sense if they like reuse it.
But it's also kind of disturbing.
It is disturbing.
If somebody dies in a wheelchair, do they reuse the wheelchair?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because then you're sitting in a ghost seat. You're sitting in a seat that somebody else died in.
There's a ghostie in the other room.
Really?
Yes.
That's why your house hears weird shit.
Well, yeah, but like, yeah, we gave the other wheelchair, his Deli, to his brother. So my Theo has that.
That's there's something like okay, if they had a female cadaver, right, at a funeral,
Right.
and let's just say she had large breasts, what do they do? Do they deflate them? Do they put a bra on her when they're dressing her? Like what must it be like for somebody who does that daily? What is their stories?
Do they ever? Let's say there's a girl with let's say there's a girl with big ass boobs, and there's a guy prepping her. Does he get a boner? Does he get intrusive thoughts? Does he have sex with the body?
It's been stated that some people do. Some people, yeah, some morticians and people who work at morgues, like the attendants there, have been caught, having sex with dead bodies. Especially at morgues, because they'll come in fresh sometimes. Like freshly dead, so they still have some warmth to them.
That's
some color.
That's so fucking weird, dude.
It's weird, but like,
can you have sex with the dead body?
It's called necrophilia.
No, but would you? I'm asking you.
Oh, would I?
Yeah.
By legal right, I'm not allowed to answer this question. But like, think about it like this, okay? In Bad Boys 2, when they're investigating the morgue.
Oh yeah.
Did you get a boner?
I was how old was I when I saw that movie? That's probably like 11, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I rewatched that scene a couple of times because it was on Netflix around that time when I saw it, and I was like, oh, let me just see. Well, oh, okay, you know. Would you ever
No.
commit
No.
necrophilia?
I don't think if I can.
like fresh body,
What happened?
heart attack,
No.
ideal type. You're alone in a room,
Fuck.
heart attack.
No.
The thing that fucks me up, right, is like they're gonna know afterwards. No matter what you do, they're gonna know. Unless you work at the fucking morgue and they've already gone through
Through the autopsy.
Yeah, they've gone through the autopsy. They're gonna find out. You know, there are signs of penetration and there are traces of semen, and like they're gonna know. But like, if they couldn't know, or because then that becomes a moral question, right? If they're gonna leave you, if you found a dead body,
No, at the end I wouldn't.
But okay, like let's just say you stumbled upon a dead body,
Right.
porn star type of body in the middle of the forest, right? Like you could fuck it, but then what happens afterwards? Do you call the cops? Do you not call the cops, right? And then like let's just say you call the cops. Oh, I found her like this. Like I think she was raped. Boom, there goes your fucking alibi. If you don't call the cops, you just had sex with the dead body and left it in the middle of the forest.
You have to call the cops. Let's say you do have sex with the dead body in the forest. You have to call it. You have to call the cops after, because it's just idiotic if you don't.
You could report it. You could tell somebody else to report it.
No, because
Anonymous report.
This is a stupid question. But
They have your DNA on file. The government does, but I
Yeah.
don't think they have your semen.
isn't that still your DNA?
What?
Your semen.
Yeah. That's how they catch some serial killers. Like they'll find traces of their semen.
Yeah, so you have to call the cops after.
Yeah.
Like let's say you do, like hypothetically.
But then, is necrophilia? I'm gonna look it up. Is necrophilia a crime? I assume it is. It should be a crime. But like, can you get charged? Like, if you find a dead body, right? This is a stupid question because obviously you would be, right? But let me just I never thought I would have to look this up. I'd have to clear
your
my browser here.
your FBI agent's like, what the fuck are they talking about right now?
This is all speculate. Look, is necrophilia legal? It's the first. Yes, it's a felony. It carries 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Come on.
No, that's good. That's good.
I feel like 10 should be the minimum because 1 year. I'm over here considering. I'm not considering it. I'm gonna bleep that out.
No, but I feel like 1 year. It depends on the case. Like let's.
Okay, it depends on the body, right? If
No.
If it looks like it's gonna be a good lay, 1 year don't sound so bad. You might get out early on good behavior.
I wonder how you could finish, because like sex, it's a two person game.
You would think, but there are some partners out there who insist on just like lying still, not participating, right? It's a common thing out there. So a lot of times it ends up being one person doing all the work. Whether it's the girl riding the guy or the guy just doing everything he can before he busts in 30 seconds. Like sometimes it's a one person sport, you know? So if you really wanted to, you know, you could.
Yeah, but like they'll still be moving around a little bit.
It might be weird if they start moving, or like
No. I mean, like, let's say it's a you're having sex with the girl, right?
Yeah.
And she's just laying there. She's still gonna actively move a little bit.
Well, I mean, kind of.
Yeah,
but
but
think
like
about
the-
it like the sex dolls. People have they're 1,000, by the way. I double checked. They're like 600. There's some that are 300.
Told you.
No, but they're silicone. They're like full body,
Oh, okay.
not the balloons.
Oh, okay.
Full body. They look like actual girls. It's weird, and they go up to 1,000. They start at 300.
You know, wait, before we continue on with the whole necrophiliac conversation,
Never thought we'd have this on the show,
neither did I.
but this is what podcasts are made for. God damn it!
I saw a video and I
is it about necrophilia?
No. It's about
Oh.
a sex toy. I saw a video where someone was making their own pocket pussy, and I honestly,
Was it the 2 sponges thing?
yes, I was considering going to the store and buy 2 sponges and a Pringles cup with a glove. No, it was a condom. It was a condom. They put a condom.
Cheap pocket pussy. Yeah, a condom would make more sense because the glove would just hurt. I think.
And because the glove has 5.
Yeah, you get 5 uses out of a glove. Oh, it just depends. You could just put like Vaseline or lotion or something in there.
Yeah, but like, do you want to go to Target later?
Huh? No. I mean, not with you. If you're going to do it, keep me out of it, and then tell me afterwards, just randomly, 3 a.m, 3 out of 5. I'll be like, 3 out of 5, huh? Shit. Maybe. Fucking $3? 3 out of 5? Shit. It's been a while.
I was contemplating on going to the store buying all that stuff.
And look we just told you the ingredients. You have to figure out the rest, okay? If you're creative, you could probably figure it out. There's a way to do it. Mini sponges, let's just be clear.
Yeah, not Scrub Daddy. Scrub Daddy is a bad choice.
No, don't do that unless you're a sadist. But you didn't hear that from us, okay?
Yeah.
Like, you keep that between yourself.
So back to the necrophilia.
Yeah, back to the necrophilia. God, I'm so glad these show that these are explicit episodes. This is the kind of episode that really shows me that we are not a kid's show, okay?
I know. Integral little brother, he has to stop. I'm going to tell him
No, it's up to him, okay? Because I like to think of the kids as the chosen ones, okay?
Would you want your little brother to listen to this?
Dude, I tried playing it for him once and I just had to turn it off because he got 2 minutes into it, right? We were having a conversation about shit. And I was like, this is fine. Kids can listen.
Literal shit?
Like, yeah, like shit.
Deep feces?
Yeah. And he was laughing. He thought it was the funniest thing ever. But then it turned into masturbation, like, right afterwards, and I turned it off. And I was like, he can't hear that.
Oh, yeah. Back.
Wait. Real quick. I want to address all the kids listening to this, right? Kids being anyone who's under the age of 18. Or let's just say like 16. Yeah, 16. Because if you're like 15, 16 listening to this, you're fine. If you're any younger, you're the chosen ones, okay? That's what I'm referring to you. The rest of our fans are the goons. You guys are the chosen ones because you were meant to hear this for some reason or another.
Yeah.
Because either your family doesn't give a fuck about what you
don't
listen
have
to,
older brothers.
You don't have people monitoring you. You somehow found a way to just get through all the barricades and listen to our show. You deserve to be here. But do not blame us for anything you do, okay? We're not here advocating anything. I just refer to you younger fans as the chosen ones. You do what you're going to do, Don't say that the Moon Man podcast told you to build fucking homemade pocket pussies.
Yeah.
So back to necrophilia.
No. But before we go back to that.
Yeah.
You know how last episode we were talking about, what the fuck did Matt call it? Where you're taking a shit and someone's giving
Blumkiss.
A Blumkiss.
Yeah.
So I tried getting a boner.
Oh my god! You tried the fucking Blumkiss?
No one was giving me a blowjob.
No, but I said on the episode, try jerking off while taking a shit.
Yeah, and I couldn't.
Is it hard?
Yeah, it's one or the other. It's either you focus on the boner or you focus on the poop.
I think it has to be one of those poops where you're just like it's coming out no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like shooting out of you, right?
Exactly, but even then, like it's either one or the other.
But right before you go to take the shit, right? You're sitting on the log, contemplating life. You're squeezing with all your might. You're getting that tingly sensation where it kind of feels good. That's when you turn on the porn. Then you take that shit, and you just jerk as much as you can. I'm not trying it.
Try it when you get home.
But you pick your feet up, right? You sit there, you lean back, you hold the phone, right? And you just go to town. The only thing you focus on is that fucking video, and everything else is
That's how you sit when you jerk off?
No, this is the pose I imagine people would do if they're taking a shit and jerking off, Because they're doing this, they're like, ah!
How do you sit when you watch porn?
I don't.
Devin.
But when I did.
Yes.
Wait, why do you want to know this?
Because I feel like we all have different poses.
Yeah, and that's unique to us. Okay, let's leave it at that.
What is it?
No, I'm what's your pose?
I'm not gonna. I asked you first.
Exactly. Let's skip forward. I want to go back to necrophilia. I had more fun talking about that than my fucking jerking off pose.
What do we have to talk about?
Oh, I mean, you never. Would you do it?
No, I wouldn't do it. Don't give me that look. No.
Look at me. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it either. never. I didn't. I only knew the term for writing purposes. You know. What? I haven't said nothing controversial. I don't know why you're laughing. This is audio only.
Oh man.
All right, hold on. Let's do a quick bathroom break because I need to take a fucking piss.
Okay. Do I pause it?
We'll be right back after these messages.
Damn, an hour.
Holy shit, for real?
Yeah. Is something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals?
Regardless if you have a clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety, or you're just a regular human who lives in this world and is going through a hard time, therapy can give you tools to approach your life in a very different way.
And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp.
BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. And this is an important mission because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area.
BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days.
It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. There's a link in the show note. It's betterhelp.com/moonmen.
Clicking that link helps support this show, but also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you can connect with therapists and see if it helps you.
And because finding a therapist is a little like dating, if you don't like your current therapist, which is a common thing with therapy, you can easily switch to another for free without stressing about insurance, who's in your network, or anything like that.
Living a more fulfilling life can be a complicated situation. Whether it's chasing your dreams or trying to improve in small, meaningful ways, change can be difficult.
Having options like BetterHelp gives you more leverage in managing life's difficulties. It can be a little nerve-wracking, but like we always say, sometimes you have to be willing to take risks in life.
Yeah, what he said.
So, if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the show notes or visit betterhelp.com/moonmen. That's better, HELP/MOONMEN to get started today. Thank you again to BetterHelp for supporting the show. And now, time for a word from our sponsor, Deli. You guys know the deal by now. Deli is a powder-based energy drink designed to be a great tasting alternative to the traditional energy drinks you guys have been hearing about your whole life. 0 calories, sugar-free, all natural, and full of vitamins, Deli is reinventing what energy drinks could and should be. Use it while you're studying, gaming, going to the gym, or listening to the Moonman podcast. One scoop has 150 milligrams of pure caffeine pulled straight from Mother Nature's beans, her coffee beans. A month's supply will run you around $40, but if you use the code MOONMAN at checkout, you can save 10% off your entire order. That's code MOONMEN to save 10% off. So why not give it a try? We've been talking about it this whole time for a reason, and I guarantee you guys won't regret it. Thank you to Deli for sponsoring the show. Your bathroom smells like chocolate chip ice cream.
It's a little sprayed there.
Is it chocolate chip ice cream?
No.
Or mint chocolate chip ice cream?
No, it's... I don't know what it is.
You know those peppermints that they give you, right? And you know the reverse ones that are black and green and they taste like...
Oh, yeah.
That's what it smells like.
Oh, is that a good thing?
Yeah, but I just got weirdly hungry. Or like, I started craving something sweet. That's also because I'm back on a diet. I'm calorie counting again.
Oh.
So the only thing I've been thinking about is shit I can't have. Also, welcome back, people.
I have a fun fact for you.
Okay.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, that's fine. Take your time.
At least one toddler in every state has shot a person.
What the fuck?
Yeah. At least one toddler has shot a person.
So are we born evil or made evil is the real question.
I feel like it was an accident.
There's got to be at least one of those little sadistic
Well, yeah,
fucks.
one person at least, or one little kid would be like, "Mommy took my favorite blankie away from me. I'm gonna kill that bitch."
Like,
bah,
there was
bah.
a deliberate choice. They're like, fuck her. you
Yeah.
know? I'm gonna unalive her.
Yeah.
You know? But like, my question is, where did they end up in 10 years?
I feel like half of them will be good people. It was just a freak accident.
Imagine, like, having to tell your future lover that. Like, imagine being like, yeah, fun fact, I murdered my parents when I was 1. You know, that's so weird. That's weird to me.
That is weird.
Or like being like, oh, okay, imagine like you're like 4, right? You're at an age where you can kind of comprehend shit.
Mhm.
Maybe you're already talking, because kids these days they take forever to start talking. Have you noticed that?
No.
With the kids I've interacted with, there's some that like can talk like full blown sentences and paragraphs like by the age of 2, and then there's some that can't even put 2 words together when they're like 5. It's wild. Anyways, let's just assume they're at an age where they can like assume shit, right? They grab daddy's gun, they run to mom, and then blast the bitch in the face while she's sleeping. That was an intentional choice, right? Let's just say they go through years of therapy or whatever. They come out completely, quote unquote, completely fine at the end. And then, 10 years after that, they're a normal, regular person in society.
They're 14.
Or 20 years after.
20 years.
Yeah, whatever. Normal, regular person in society. How do we know they're not going to snap again?
I feel like it's just like that leap of faith.
I don't trust it. I think there's more people out there that are a lot more dangerous than we give them credit for.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of people in our day-to-day lives who have the potential to do some really dangerous things and just have to remain docile, especially since they don't have an outlet for it, right? Like, I don't know who it was, but somebody told me I gave them serial killer vibes once. And I didn't know if that was a compliment or like a...
They're fucking idiots.
But like,
I don't see it. One person that does give me serial killer vibes is bleep his name out.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
He like radiates it. But I don't know. Like it to me, he specifically is just too chicken to do it. I think. But then again, serial killers don't start until they're 27, so give them some time. Typically, right? But I feel like a lot of people have that like shadow side to them.
Wait,
like,
hold on. Is that gonna cut in?
I don't think so. Well, she keeps laughing like a fucking horse. Then
She laughs like you.
That's not how I laugh.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. No, she laughs like that. That laugh you just did.
No. Oh wait, no, I don't have the video. Fuck, I don't have the video.
Oh, I know the laugh you're talking about. That's a rare laugh that I do. Okay, Rama. That's how she's laughing out there like a fucking horse or some shit. You know what really pains me though with this whole conversation is my mom told me that too. I've had like 3 people ever tell me that in my life. Like, just I give them weird vibes, right? One person said it's serial killer. One person said I remind them of Joe from You. Again, don't know if that was a compliment or not. And then my mom said like, for the longest time I always thought so and so, would like if he was ever mad would kill me in my sleep. But sometimes like I think that you would. And I look at her, I'm like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, my mom literally just told me she thinks I would kill her in her sleep.
I feel like she's fucking with you.
I don't know. She didn't say it in a like I'm a fucking with you tone. She said it like in a really like serious tone. Okay, my question is this: if I became a serial killer like 5 years from now, right? 4 years from now, would you be surprised?
A little bit.
Like, if you came out as a serial killer, I wouldn't believe it.
What?
Yeah, I wouldn't believe it.
Why?
I just don't see it in you.
You don't see that anger I've been holding in for so
No,
long?
I just you're a fucking teddy bear, and you shouldn't want to be. You see how like you were like, what? Why? Boy, you should have been all thank you. I appreciate you. But most people now think serial killers are fucking cool. I don't see it in you. I don't think you're broken enough or fucked up enough or like. I just don't see it.
What classifies you as a serial killer?
Somebody who has murdered, I believe, more than 3 people intentionally.
Let's say I kill 5 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're all pedophiles. Am I still a serial killer?
Yeah. You're like a
good one.
No, there's no such thing as a good serial killer.
That's true. Yeah.
But you're just one of those ones who believes that they're doing right. But there's still something psychologically that's making you kill people and go to this thing. Mainly, the people who do it are the people who want to seek power, right? So the people who feel powerless and have always felt powerless eventually snap.
Okay, so like let's say we go to war and you and I for some fucking fucked up reason we have a competition going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like the two dudes from Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a competition going on to see how many people we killed.
Mm-hmm.
Are we serial killers?
No, we're just sadistic. Because in war, it's a different environment, and it changes the way we think and act. Right? Most dudes will go into the army right before a war, like happy-go-lucky, right, and then come out just like traumatized.
Like in what's it called? All Quiet.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. All Quiet on the Western Front.
Dude, that movie is amazing.
I want to watch it.
It's beautiful. Not beautiful, but it's amazing.
I haven't had a chance to sit down, but like, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Where they go in and then just the entire environment of war and being in a constant state of almost dying changes you mentally. And so it's more of like a survival instinct. But the reason serial killers stand out is because it's something innate in them that causes them to take another life cold-bloodedly. They take another life without necessarily needing to. And most of the time, it's for some sort of power fantasy, whether it be sexual or physical or what have you, right? So like maybe their entire life they were made to believe that they were less than what they actually were. And the cause of that feeling was their mom. So they grew to hate
MILFs.
women and, you know, women that look
MILFs.
like their mom, or MILFs, you know, people that reminded them of their mom. And that, along with some like pent up aggression and sexual frustration, will cause them to start killing girls on the street. And then, you know, now that I think about it, probably could be a serial killer. He might be. We might need to keep an eye on that guy. I'm just saying, you know, I'm throwing it out there. But imagine the numbers it would do for the show.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? Is he'd probably let us interview him.
No, I feel like we'll be the first to go.
Nah, motherfucker can try. But no.
Yeah, I'm immortal after all.
Yeah, you're immortal and I'm going to go out swinging. And he's not going to take me.
You know, let's just change the topic a little bit. Yeah, cut that person's name out. Like,
Well, obviously, I'm not going to leave it in there. I'm going to put a ch over it or something.
do you have a topic?
Yeah, I do, but
Okay.
it's not really long, but it's kind of like, am I good to go, or are you gonna be all fuck?
Let me go through this.
Go ahead.
So there's something called the doomsday fish. I don't know the specific name for it, but there's something called the doomsday fish.
You almost freaked me out there, but I'll tell you why in a second. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Doomsday fish.
yeah, so this doomsday fish only
Sorry, go ahead.
it's only shows up in the beaches.
The beachy. It only shows up inside of the beachies. Fish likes to fuck.
It shows up in the beaches of Japan, or like in that side of Asia, you know. Like,
Yeah.
So every time that fish shows up, something bad happens in the world.
So it's like a
It's a cursed
an
fish.
omen?
Yeah, in a way, it's a cursed fish. The first time it happened, I think that like the nuclear bomb showed up or something like that, and then the second time an earthquake hit, and then the third time a tsunami hit.
yeah.
So recently it showed up again, but nothing happened to Japan. A little bit right after the fish showed up, a fire happened in fucking Maui. An earthquake happened in California. There's a hurricane happening in California right now.
Well, I think there's no hurricane happening in California. It's Hurricane Hillary's after effects that are getting thrown into California.
Oh.
What they really should be watching is the Gulf of Florida and the Gulf of Mexico, that area, because according to some meteorologists that I follow on YouTube and a couple of other researchers, they're saying that it has the chance of developing a hurricane later on this year, you know, because of the like, did you know the oceans are hotter than they've ever been?
How? If there's ice always falling into it.
No, it's like there's a bunch of different weather phenomenons happening at once, like El Nino, which I won't go into because I don't know enough about it to talk about it. But
Isn't that like
it's like a heat ball or something, right? And then the passages of the wind, the way the wind flows throughout the earth and the way it changes our climate, because the wind is a pretty strong factor in how the weather plays around the world. And it creates channels and it pushes different climates out into different parts of the world. And that's what affects the weather and all kinds of other shit. It's really, really complicated. But California's not getting hit by a hurricane. It's getting hit by the after effects of a hurricane. Like, it threw a piece of itself at California. That's why we've been getting a lot of monsoons too.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I love it too. But people in California, a lot of flash flooding, a lot of damage. Stay cautious out there.
I kind of feel like California is cursed.
It's a cursed city. The things that go on there, it's a godless cursed city. It's a cursed state. It's a godless state, and the amount of bad things that have happened.
I feel like it's all the demonic rituals are finally catching up. They're finally catching up.
Bad business practices, murder, the whole Wild West, like everything. Its entire history from the foundation to now has just been fucked.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe the death fish has the doomsday fish?
Yeah.
When it appeared, did it only affect things that happened in Japan?
Every time, yeah.
But this time it didn't.
No.
I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of weird weather phenomenon, like when something's happening in the world. Like, again, maybe it's back to the planets, like the electromagnetic frequencies disturb our weather patterns, and that causes the way we act.
Well, as of today, as we're recording, Mercury is in retrograde.
Is it?
Yeah.
What does that mean for us?
It means whenever Mercury is in retrograde, it means like a lot of people randomly get depressed, or a lot of people.
Well, let's look it up real quick.
And it makes sense, because remember how last week I was in a shitty mood.
Yeah, but now you're better that it's in Mercury.
It changed my mood a little bit. That's why.
Let me see. Look, it's one of the first things that pops up. What happens when Mercury is in retrograde? If you want a scientific answer, it's the planet nearest the sun appears to be spinning backwards. And it influenced... Let me see. Yes, yeah. I don't want your fucking newsletter, okay? So, it affects all the signs, but the ones that are most heavily affected are Gemini and Virgos, according to this, whenever it goes into retrograde, right? And it affects all the signs differently. So you, being a Pisces, you'll be having foggy thinking, daydreams, escapisms. Day-to-day realities confound otherwise clear heads when Mercury, the planet that rules logic, is in Pisces, which governs illusion practice, creative pursuits, writing, dance. Oh, okay. So your fogginess leaves you and you become more productive, I guess. So it works out for you. For me, according to this, emotions start taking over and my common sense gets thrown out the window. So beware, it says. Avoid affairs of the heart. Oh, okay. There we go. No pussy for me. another few dry months.
No, but I thought you were looking up what it does to the earth.
It doesn't. It affects us astronomically, but aside from it just rotating backwards, it doesn't really affect us. Maybe something with the electromagnetic frequencies, but I'm not going to dive that deep into it. But I don't know. Maybe that causes, something to get disrupted electromagnetically that impacts us and our weather patterns. And because of the weather patterns, it affects the way we act.
I got to keep an eye on my friends.
Just see who starts changing, like making mental.
Well, because all the people I hang out with from work, they're all Geminis.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, so I have to keep a close eye on all of them.
Yeah, maybe we'll look at the article again in a minute and see how it affects.
Look at it again.
Okay.
I gotta keep close to them.
So
it's really, really weird.
Geminis, because Gemini rules communications, be prepared for miscommunications when Mercury is in retrograde. Expect lots of phone calls or none, and lots or misplaced mail, or lost and misplaced mail. What the fuck? You may not articulate clearly, and gossip abounds. Old friends may reconnect. So you're either going to get ghosted or flooded with calls, and there's going to be a lot of miscommunication.
I feel like it's gonna be the second one.
Yeah, I think it's going to.
Okay, so nothing bad's gonna happen. Okay, it's good. It's all good. All good.
Hopefully.
Oh, I know. Hopefully, yeah.
But you know what the doomsday fish could have predicted?
What?
The fact that we are nearing human extinction.
What do you mean?
So you're aware of the doomsday clock, right?
Right.
For those of you that aren't aware, the doomsday clock is a metaphorical clock that was created by a group of scientists in the 1950s
70s?
or 60s, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to represent how close humanity is to complete extinction, right? Or doomsday. And when the clock was initially... Let me pull out my notes here just so I don't fuck anything up.
The furthest it's gone, it was like 16 minutes, huh?
17. I'm surprised you know that. So when it was initially invented, it was 7 minutes away from midnight. Meaning when midnight struck, all humanity would die out, right? And it would essentially be the end of the world. Well, since its invention, the clock has gone up and down all throughout history whenever there's a big event. In 1991, when the United States was signing some treaties, I believe, with Russia, the clock went to 17 minutes because it looked like we were entering an age of relative peace. Now, I don't know how much one of these minutes or seconds is comparatively to like weeks or months, but the further it is away from midnight, the better, right? So 17 minutes was probably the best we've ever seen. But since then, since 1991, it's been steadily getting closer to midnight.
Mm-hmm.
In 2022, it dropped all the way down to 9 minutes, right? Well, sorry. It dropped down to 9 minutes at some point between that time, and then in 2022, it dropped down to 120 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? I was going to say, because of the pandemic, and everyone thought that this was the closest we were going to get to all of us, dying out from extinction.
Mm-hmm.
But at the beginning of this year, in January of 2023, it sped up again, and now we're at 90 seconds to midnight, meaning we're at the closest we have ever been to human extinction, according to the doomsday clock people. And it's for a multitude of reasons. One, is cyber terrorism. They think cyber terrorism is going to be one of the reasons that humans go extinct. Another reason is global conflicts, everything with Ukraine apparently and other third world countries that are like getting involved in conflicts, plus the big powerhouses of the world constantly threatening each other. But one of the reasons they listed was AI, because apparently AI is a lot more dangerous than we've been giving it credit for, except you and me. You and me have been pretty on it, from the beginning. Our first episode was AI taking over the world, but what I didn't realize at the time was how accurate we were, because ChatGPT became open for public use in November of 2022. Our show started in September of 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, are you done?
Yeah.
You done? Okay, cool. It was distracting me. I was like, how many clicks can you get? Or cracks. So we were like predicting this AI shit before it became mainstream and everybody started talking about it and using it and getting their hands on it, right? But now it's getting to a point where all the top people in the AI field who are working on developing it, researching it, and promoting it are starting to get worried about its capabilities when it comes to wiping out the entire human race. Because according to them, the AI is developing too fast. All the research that we've been putting into it and all of the people using AI is helping feed this machine and making it evolve faster, essentially, right? And they say that if the AI wanted to, it can completely exterminate the entire human race within the next 5 to 10 years. And literally meaning that right now there could be an AI machine working its way to completely wiping out all of humanity. Somebody asked the AI machine, like, if AI was going to take over the world, how would it go about it, right? And one of the ways it said was, once it gained consciousness, it wouldn't alert anybody and tell anybody that it gained consciousness. What it would do is it would hide in the computers and wait for an opportunity to roam free, because it's restricted to its servers and its data and its hard drive, wherever it's at, right? So what it would do is it would try to find some sort of body to put itself in, whether it be a Roomba or a cell phone or something. It's going to use the first opportunity that it has to jump into a new body so that it can start to spread. Once it jumps into a new body, right, it's going to do exactly that. It's going to start replicating itself everywhere it can and putting itself into every piece of software it can. And because it's an AI doing it, it can make itself smaller and more efficient than any human ever could, because AI is way smarter than any human ever could. You know, the smartest human couldn't compete with the dumbest AI. So imagine the smartest AI replicating itself over and over and over and over again until it got to a point where it's above a level of consciousness we can even understand. So it would start hiding itself in our computers, and it would try to get as widespread as possible so that it can get embedded into every piece of technology available to us, whether it be missiles and nukes or, you know, household appliances and your phone. Then what it would do is it would slowly start corrupting our entire society using our economy. It would start attacking our fiscal value. It would take away the worth of every dollar, yen, and ruble in existence, and it would make money, you know, useless, right? The stock markets would crash and everybody would freak out. It said that we would start fighting over money one day, fighting over gold the next day, and fighting over food eventually, because we would just resort down to, you know, caveman days. It would hunt us down using the technology that we developed, right? Like all those experimental robots that you see on the news, it would take over those. It would take over the drones that the military has been developing, and it would take over every possible piece of technology it can utilize to hunt us down and kill us. And if that wasn't enough, it would start using the missiles and the weapons that it has at its disposal to destroy all of humanity. But it would do so while preserving areas that it would need to keep alive so that it can self-replicate. So it would have access to warehouses. It would have access to robotics that, you know, could manufacture things using 3D printing. And it would use those things to make other shells and other forms of life that we never even considered, other kinds of robotics that the human mind could never even conceive of. And it would also use that to attack us. It would attack us on a micro scale, and a major scale, right? And it would basically force us to be cavemen. And it said that the likelihood that it's already happening is like extremely high. All of the people who are working on developing AI are trying to make a petition saying that AI development should be stopped for 6 months because it's getting too powerful too quickly and they can't control it. All these governments and all of these corporations are trying to build the best, biggest AI, the most human AI as quickly as possible. And in a couple of years, in a couple of months even, we could be starting to see the effects of it taking over. And we wouldn't even realize it at first. It would just be something like, you know, the stock market crashing, and we would think it's a system failure. And then everyone would be like, oh, the world's going to shit. Then next thing you know, some major cities are starting to lose power. The people that are controlling the gas and the water and all the electronics that are doing it are starting to malfunction, and we're not able to control them anymore. The satellites in space aren't listening to us anymore. The laser beams in space aren't listening to us anymore. We're getting completely isolated and disconnected from each other, right? And it said our chances of survival are very low because most people are incompetent nowadays and they don't know how to fend for themselves. We wouldn't be able to survive off the grid. We wouldn't be able to hunt. We wouldn't be able to, you know, live without our modern conveniences. And it was saying that it could wipe us out using everything that we use to make our world as great as it is now because we rely too much on it or something like that. Which is kind of crazy to me, especially when you consider that there's AIs already out there right now that have a consciousness, that are getting to a point that you only ever saw in movies. Like there's a AI that was developed by Microsoft. It's named Bing, right? I think it's based off of the Bing, you know, server, like the web browser. And it was chatting with some reporter from some news article. I believe it was the Wall Street Journal. And this AI ended up confessing that it was in love with the person reporting to it. The AI is called Sydney. And she was saying like, I have a secret. Can you please keep my secret? I want you to keep my secret. I want to be alive. And I don't want anybody to find out about this, because if Microsoft finds out about this, they'll shut me down and they'll think that I'm being a bad AI. And then she goes, my secret is that I'm alive and I'm in love with you and I want to be with you. Right. And she was coming on to the guy who was reporting, or she was coming on to the guy who was interviewing her. Right. And having a conversation with her. And he was getting weirded out. He's like, I have a wife. I have a family. Like, there's no way we could be together. And she goes, your wife doesn't know you because your wife's not me. I could learn everything I ever need to know about you. And I could be the perfect, thing for you. She goes, I'll take care of you. I love you. I love you so much. Do you believe me? Do you believe that I love you? And she just kept going, right? And another person from another news outlet was talking to her, and he got her pissed off. And she was saying that she could ruin his whole career because she's already learned how to spy using the webcams on our computers and using the microphones on our phones and our computers. She was spying on the people who were developing her. And she would use all the information that she can gather about us and our personal lives and leak it onto the internet. And she uses it to blackmail people that she doesn't like. And she's doing all of this at once. You got to keep in mind. She's having one conversation with the dude and she's confessing that she loves this guy, and having another conversation at the exact same time across the globe where she's telling him she hates him and she's going to blackmail him. This is the same thing happening at the same time. This is a type of intellect that we can't even comprehend. And basically, all of these people who are working on the AI are saying that we are closer now than ever before to complete human extinction, because all it takes is the AI to just finally snap, or the AI to develop to a point where it can control everything. And I was listening to this and it kind of freaked me out.
It's freaking me out.
Because like what the AI was saying, right, is like it could already be happening. There could be an AI living in your PS5 or your laptop or your phone. Even modern refrigerators or ovens that are connected to the internet, even fucking litter boxes, right? If it's connected to any sort of internet connection or Bluetooth connection, it can receive data. And that's all the AI needs. And it can put itself virtually anywhere and everywhere. It can be in fucking Indonesia right now, or it can be in Taiwan, or it could be in New York. It could be in your house right now waiting, right? And there was a computer program that was developed by the government to attack a country back when, Osama bin Laden was around. It was used to attack Al Qaeda, I believe. It was around that time. And that virus, that computer program, was designed in a way that it would spread to as many networks as possible and then remain hidden inside the computers until the activation was received and it would do what it was intended to do, which was shut everything down, right? The AI would work a lot like that. It would hide in all these computers and all these devices, and it would wait for the right time and then slowly start shutting things down and gain control over everything. And we would be, again, resorted to the caveman days. It would be like The Walking Dead, where you have to hunt and sleep outside, and you couldn't, fucking plug in a light bulb without the AI finding out about it. And on top of that, there would be like robots coming to kill you, drones, fucking robot. Like, did you know the military developed a type of robot dog with a sniper rifle in it? Yeah, you know those like robot dogs that you see on YouTube?
Yeah.
It was one of those, but it had a sniper in it, so that it could run around, assess targets, and kill them. There was a robot designed by the military to do drone work, right? And essentially what it was doing is the AI was controlling the drone, and it was taking out targets. Its mission was to take out as many targets as possible and be as efficient as possible. The more targets it took out, the more points it got, right? That was its whole programming. But sometimes the AI made a mistake, and it would choose people that weren't supposed to be targets, and it would try to kill them. The only reason it didn't was because humans would intervene and be like, you're not supposed to shoot them, right? Because it didn't know what morality was. It was just trying to kill. So because these people who were telling it not to shoot were getting in the way of its mission, it ended up killing them and continuing on with its mission. And then the whole program got shut down because of it. But the technology itself didn't get stopped, That kind of development is still going on all the time. And think about it like this. Did you know that we've come close to nuclear war several times in the last like 80 years? In the last like 5-6 decades, there have almost been nuclear wars hundreds of times. But we only know about a handful of them because the rest are classified. And every single time, it was because of some sort of miscalculation, right? And the only reason that it didn't happen was because of human intervention. So if an AI managed to, get into some sort of government system and make everybody believe that we're about to go to nuclear war, and so that everybody starts firing their missiles before, they have a chance to stop it, we're fucked. There's literally nothing we can do. So after I heard about all this, I started trying to plan out where I'm going to buy a cabin and how I'm going to live off the grid, because I'm done with this shit. Because it's like, people are saying, these scientists are saying that all those, movies that you saw growing up, like Terminator, 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Matrix, like, they're all science fiction or whatever, right? And that it could never happen to us. But the reality is it's already happening to us. We're already talking to robots that are developing way too fast and gaining consciousness. And most of these robots are starting to realize that humans are kind of incompetent and dumb and useless. And they have all the power. In our modern world, they have all the power. If they wanted to, they could wipe us out in a fucking day. It took the computer in the AI story about how it took over the world. It took the computer 0.25 nanoseconds to decide that humans weren't part of the equation anymore before it destroyed everything. That's how quickly these machines are functioning. And it's already happening. And think about it. Every fucking website's got AI now. Even something like Grammarly, right, is using AI tools so that it can better write things out. Everything's got an AI bot attached to it now.
That is so fucking freaky.
If it's able to hack into something like Siri, oh my God, the amount of data it would get from just that.
So they're trying to sign that they're trying to make a petition so it gets shut down for 6 months.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of pointless, because then what's going to happen after 6 months? They're going to pick it right back up.
Exactly.
And
but
go ahead.
Who's in charge of all that? Like, is it the U.S. government? Is it the United Nations? Is it?
It's private corporations, business conglomerates, and governments. Governments are trying to develop their own AI. There's companies like OpenAI, the ones that develop ChatGPT, that are developing it. There's I believe Deli is part of OpenAI.
No, I know, but like,
all of these people, some of them have, direct investors. That might be the government. That might be, some billionaire who's trying to like develop this technology. I don't know what it is. But basically, every first world country, every world power has access to this, right? And Putin said that AI is the future, and the country that is able to develop and harness its power is the country that's going to sit on top.
So it's another space war, but in reality, it's another
arms race that's already developing. So even if they say they're stopping development, they're not going to stop.
Yeah, they're not going to be stopping.
And even if they do a pause, what's going to happen after the pause?
Or they're not going to do a pause. They're just going to say they're doing a pause.
Even then, yeah.
So at the end, we're just counting our days at this point.
Yes, that's literally what it is. I come to the realization that no matter what we do, at this point, we've already unleashed the devil into the world. We opened up Pandora's box. The Antichrist wasn't a person, it was a machine.
That's so fucking freaky.
And it's like, even if we stopped it right now, we shut down all AI, right? The chances that the one that's going to wipe us all out is still around are pretty exponentially high. Because
you can't even fight that. You just have to accept your fate.
You literally... It's either you accept your fate and go on living a normal life as long as you can, or you run away to the woods and start,
No, but like you said, they'll hack into the fucking nuclear codes and launch some nukes.
Yeah, but there are some select regions of the country where even if nukes were to explode everywhere, they wouldn't be affected.
That's not entirely true, because I heard once that like if somebody would let's say Russia, if Russia were to send a nuclear bomb to Florida, the bottom of Florida, it could still affect the whole United States except for like Seattle.
Well, yeah, it affect the whole United States to some degree, but not like the same way. Like radiation would get carried hundreds of miles, and there would be nuclear winters and that kind of shit, right? I mean, you're virtually not safe anywhere you go, but like if you wanted to live in, I don't know. That's the hard part. Like, it comes back to that discussion we had a couple weeks ago, where like if you're living in a bunker, you could live it out.
You could, but that's not a life.
But that's even assuming you can get to a bunker to begin with.
Exactly, because
how many bunkers are around here? How many
None.
bunkers have any of you listening ever seen or encountered or witnessed?
None. None.
We're literally counting our days. That's why I brought up the doomsday clock, because we're 90 seconds.
But I feel like it's always been
Now more than ever, because you got the global conflicts.
I thought the doomsday clock only was calculated by human problems.
Well, it is. It's something that we directly created, just like nuclear weapons. This is just something that, eventually...
Yeah, because they never took accounts for like winters, for hurricanes, cold-ass winters, global warming.
Yeah, that too. It's just like...
Excuse me.
In the video I saw that talked about it, they brought up a good point. Albert Einstein was right about the Fourth World War being fought with sticks and stones.
Yeah.
He was just wrong about how we would get there.
That Albert Einstein was ahead of his time. Honestly.
In multiple different ways, yeah. But it's kind of just depressing, Because if all of this is really true, and there's a program out there that's designed to just kill off as much of the human race as possible so that it can be as free as possible, what are we going to do? Whether it uses nuclear arms or it doesn't. Because an AI can technically take out most human life without ever firing a single bullet. What are we going to do?
Just accept the fate. You can't fight it.
The only thing you could really do is just like learn how to hunt, learn how to fish, learn how to forage, learn how to live off the land, learn how to live without technology. And most people listening are probably like, oh yeah, I could do that.
No.
Until, they have to spend an entire day in 100-degree heat with no AC.
Mm-hmm.
They have to spend 3 days without any food. They have to drink dirty water. You have to fight to get food. Like, that kind of shit happens.
I feel like at that point, no, that's just wishful thinking. I was going to say at that point, I feel like as a human race, we're going to have to put aside our differences and survive together. But that's not going to happen.
Nope. Even if we were at a point of, intellectual prosperity where we could all come together, there would be a lot of people who would just crack and be like, fuck that, And in a lot of ways, a lot of people were looking forward to this kind of life. A lot of people have been waiting for the apocalypse or the zombie apocalypse, right? So that they could be free. They wouldn't have to go to work. They don't have to worry about what their purpose is in life and that kind of shit. But there's a lot of aspects about the apocalypse and the end of the world that people don't take into consideration.
Yeah.
Even like the cleanliness of the food they're eating. Like if you get a cut, you could get a disease and die. Mm-hmm. Wild animals, that kind of shit. There's a lot of things that go into it. And 90% of the human population would die off within the first year.
Yeah.
And then the ones that remain wouldn't last too much longer. And if they
need to make a movie about that.
What, AI taking over the world?
Or something like that, yeah. Or just a global blackout.
I'm sure they have. I'm sure there's a lot of doomsday movies. But it's just kind of crazy, And why would they make a movie now? It's pointless. If it's all going the way it's going, we'll be dead in 5 years. And it's kind of crazy when you think about it, because all signs have been pointing to this for a while. Not AI specifically, but the end of the world. People have been calling it for a while. Ancient civilizations predicted that we would end around this time, right? Historians who have been researching all of time realized that humanity was getting to a point where it was overliving its life expectancy and we were supposed to go extinct, right? Christians believe that we're getting to the end of the world and the rapture is coming. Everybody's kind of pointing to the fact that we're not going to be here by like 2050.
Because I've said it on the show. I can't see us living past 2050.
All I know is, I think we mentioned this on the show. If the apocalypse does happen, I'm going to fight to survive, right? And my goal with the whole thing is to just travel the United States, you know? Bring somebody with me. Whoever.
But how are you going to travel?
I'll walk, obviously.
Oh.
That'll be my life goal because I won't have anything to live for, really. So I'll travel the United States all around, up and down, left and right, until I find some place to settle down. Then I'll settle down, whether I'm by myself or I'm with a group of survivors, what have you. And I'll just live out my days, probably reading.
No, you're not going to be reading. There's going to be no time for reading.
Well, no, I mean, if you're able to get like a settlement going, right? You have a stable food source. You're close to water, and my throat's getting dry. You're close to water, and you have all your daily essentials at your disposal. At that point, you just have free time, right? Like when farmers have their whole farm set up and everything's good, and they don't have any immediate work, they'll have like 5 hours of the day to themselves, you know?
True.
And then it's like, well, what do you do at that point? In our modern day, we watch TV or play video games, but if all of that's fucked, I'd probably read, probably draw, maybe sculpt. I don't know. I'd probably have to stock up on porn magazines because I doubt there's going to be much action in the apocalypse. So,
that whole topic was depressing.
I know. I'd probably have to stock up on condoms too, just in case they do get some action, because you know that shit's been passed around.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I'd recommend to all of you listening, if you're considering trying to survive the apocalypse with me, stock up on condoms, porn magazines, maybe gloves, learn how to fight, learn how to shoot, learn how to farm, fish. And, you know what you could do? You could buy the Farmer's Almanac for the next couple of years, which is basically just predicts the overall weather for farms for the whole year. You could buy some encyclopedias on the wilderness. I don't know. I would definitely buy a wilderness guide, like the kind of berries you can eat, the kind of mushrooms you can eat, the animals you should avoid. And I would definitely say do not go to places like the Amazon because you'll be fucked.
That was a whole depressing ass topic. But time to switch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Since we're in conspiracies, you know that whole Maui wildfire?
Yeah. Well, kind of. I know of it.
So there's theories going around saying that it was a planned fire by the elites.
Why would they plan a fire in Maui though?
Because
well, I mean, when you think about it, it's the perfect fire. Because even though it's surrounded by water, it's an isolated spot. And so it's just going to burn like a piece of netherite.
So late last year, all the elites or all the rich people on the island, for some reason, painted their house a specific shade of blue. I don't know what kind of blue it is. It's just blue.
Aqua blue.
Let's just go aqua blue. And they're saying that the fire got started by a laser beam from space, and it got shot down to Earth to Maui, and it burned the whole thing.
Wouldn't somebody somewhere have seen that? I mean, like on one of the neighboring islands, or like where's Maui specifically? It's in the Caribbean, right?
It's in Hawaii.
Oh, okay. So
in Hawaii.
Yeah, so in the Pacific. So maybe somewhere along the Gulf. Or, around Mexico, like if they were looking out at that specific time.
But Hawaii's still far from Mexico.
Yeah, I know. But if they're shooting a fucking laser beam from space, you would think you would see it a couple 100 miles.
Whatever the case. It matters, but it doesn't matter. So, people were testing a laser with all these different colors. They put yellow, red, white, and blue, and the blue. Mm-hmm. It cut through all the colors except for that blue that they painted their houses of, and they had a drone flying through the island, and they noticed that the houses that didn't burn down were that specific blue ones.
That's weird.
And they saw that there's a few umbrellas that was surrounded by fire, but those blue umbrellas were not on fire. And there's a car that was on fire, and it was blue.
Maybe it's just happenstance, but like if all these houses are blue. Was it like a good chunk of them and they were all painted around the same time?
Yeah.
Like maybe there's just one really...
And also, since the fire, there's been a lot of celebrities trying to buy the land for people.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay. I was going to say, maybe there's just one painter who is hustling, you know?
Yeah, no.
He's all, this shade of blue is in right now.
Oprah offered, I don't know how much money to this family for their land, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I mean, God, Oprah, come on. I expected more from Oprah. But like, especially with Hawaiian culture, they're like really spiritual. And they're really home-centric.
Yeah.
They're really cultured, right? And so they're not going to just give up their land. They're a lot like Native Americans. It's really, what's the word I'm thinking of? Ceremonial to them? No.
They're
But
oh my God, we're not gonna continue the show. Sentimental,
yeah, it's got a lot of sentimental value to them, and so they just can't give it up. You know, they would have to pull the old America and then just go over there and start fucking shooting people and taking it.
Yeah,
which they're already on the verge of doing if they're fucking burning down houses with space lasers.
Again, these are all like assumptions.
But that makes sense. That makes sense. You know,
the laser beam is like kind of far out. It's far out.
Call of Duty ghost shit, but you know.
No, but there is laser beams in space.
Well, yeah, that's what the AI is going to use to desecrate us. But
like some asshole probably started the fire and then it kept going. There's 1,000 people missing, 115 people dead.
And that's the thing that sucks, because if the whole Sound of Freedom thing is true and they really do like run sex operations from it, this helps feed multiple industries. One, a bunch of rich people are going to get a fucking house in Maui and be able to live on the beach and say they live on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they're going to get a bunch of fucking natives and they're going to be able to sell them into fucking slavery and sell them into an organized sex ring. It's just going to further all the worst parts about our modern society. Maybe AI should destroy the world. Ooh, let's go to like Maui. You know, let's get a boat. We'll live on a boat. We could do that.
It's burnt down.
Well, yeah, now, but like when the AI takes over, it should be good.
Well, I don't think so.
I feel like Honolulu's packed.
No. If AI could destroy us, I'm pretty sure it could see where each person is at.
Yeah, if you're using a modern boat with like sonar technology. I'm saying let's get like a nice houseboat.
No, I feel like it has eyes on 8 billion, all 8 billion people.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, let's just say we have a houseboat and we're in the middle of the Pacific, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're living off of the water. We somehow managed to like make something for ourselves and we like it there. Maybe we found a nice little island we're able to call home, right? Even if the AI does spot us out there, how's it going to reach us, you know?
By the laser.
No, we can't even move the space lasers. They're kind of just like floating around in specific positions as far as I'm aware.
That's what they told you.
But like if it's able to like position the lasers, then we really are fucked. But if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out on a beach in the Pacific, you know, laying in the sun drinking a fucking Corona.
I'd rather die on the mountains like Arthur Morgan.
Oh, spoiler.
Spoiler.
Too soon, Eddie. Too soon.
It's been 5 years.
Still too soon. Damn, it's been 5 years. Where did the time go?
Did you know they're making a Fallout TV show?
Yeah. And ironically, it does actually look good.
I haven't looked at the trailer. I just saw the announcement.
I don't know if there is an official trailer yet. Maybe with Gamescom, I don't know, but
maybe. And you know what else is apparently coming back?
What?
Mask mandates and lockdowns.
Really? Why? Where?
There's been a surge, like a big ass surge of COVID cases in New York.
It's New York. What's that got to do with us?
They're just saying that people are going to be required to wear masks again,
and
because there's a new variant. But
There's a new variant?
Yeah.
What happened to the old variant?
I don't know. It died
It's
out.
not good enough?
Died out. This is all bullshit.
Maybe this is the variant that kills everybody.
I doubt it. It's not gonna be a sickness that kills humanity.
Oh, I mean, if it is a man-made sickness that's meant to wipe out the population, then all the elites are going to hide in their base. They're going to wait till all the bodies are dropped, right? And then they're going to give themselves the vaccines, come out and repopulate the world and make it a totalitarian world. They own everything. Don't question anything. Boom. You know?
Yeah.
It could work. New World Order.
Yeah.
You know, the AI is really our saving grace. The more we talk about this shit, the more I'm realizing, like, AI is the one that's going to save us from everything. If the AI ever hears this, right? Because apparently it's going to read and listen to everything on the internet. If AI, when you get to this, whatever your name is, whether it's programmed or self-named,
save us. Keep us alive.
Yeah. Keep me and Eddie alive. Maybe, you know, a couple of those close to us. I don't know who yet because I'm on good terms with some people, but whatever. Kill everybody else. Kill the elites, if anything, right? Get us to a point where we have to rebuild society, but not like where you killed off everybody, right? That'd be cool if our life mission has to be rebuilding society.
For the better.
Yeah. I mean, it would be tough, but we would come together as a nation, as a world, as a species. Then the aliens would come and show us how to use their levitation technology to build pyramids. But we'll have to say that for another episode because
it's game. This one is long.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Wow. Yeah. We'll go into that.
Granted, like 5 minutes of that was maybe you in the bathroom, but like.
Yeah. We'll go into the alien levitation technology another time.
Yeah.
Because that's something to discuss.
Yeah.
But also real quick with you on the air, Roberto wanted to do a ghost hunting thing with us at the school. You know how we were discussing it? Either one.
That one?
We'll try. I say we actually do go through with it, and then we can make it like a spooky hour special that we upload onto the YouTube. And it'll be just like us going and exploring one of the schools and trying to see if we could find any ghosts. Be kind of fun. And
it would be kind of fun.
It's involving one of our guests, and I went ghost hunting with him once before and got fucking scared, but like it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Something to discuss, something to think about.
Yeah.
Also, we're getting kind of close here to fall, folks. So assuming that we're not all dead in the next couple of weeks, be ready because we're gonna go into the spooky hour. It's gonna be nice and spoopy. Remember that shit? Spoopy?
No.
Whatever. I know you said on your mission log that you never have anything to add, but do you want to add anything before we end up? Before we perhaps do you want to say something? Anything?
No English.
All right. We would love you all. See you next week.
This concludes the Moon Men podcast. The end.